Hi and welcome. In this video tutorial, we're going to go through the new crypto and Forex D.AI.SY calculator to showcase various scenarios that will happen if you make a contribution to the crowdfund for DAISY. Please understand these spreadsheets are based on giving you an estimate and we do not guarantee any results. In this first tab, you see at the bottom there's a series of different spreadsheets, and the first one is called Forex. This is where you're going to enter in the amount of Forex tiers that you're going to contribute to the development of the Forex AI. So by default, we have one tier, which would mean that your cost would be 100 USDT. 50% is being allocated to the trading pool, which means 50 USDT is going into that pool. So your profits will be based on that value going into the pool. Now we're working on a conservative 20% per month, which is still an outstanding result, and that will give us our profit. So if we scroll down, you can see here that basically a 100 euro contribution would have 50 going to the pool. On 20%, that would generate $10 profit per month. If you withdrew that, you'd have a performance fee of 30%, leaving you a net $7, which means that as a percentage of your total contribution of 100 USDT, that would be a 7% gain per month. If it was a percentage of the actual amount going into the trading pool, it would be 14%. If we decide to adjust this number and add one more tier, tier 2, that's a contribution of $200 extra, then obviously we have 300 total outlay out of pocket, 150 going to the trading pool, and our results now change with a net withdrawable amount of 21 per month. And of course, you can add more tiers as well. If you went all the way to tier 5, where you've got 3,100 in total contributions with 2,110 in the trading pool, you're now eligible to get a momentum pack, this promo that's running in June through to October and beyond, when the Forex trading fund reaches 50 million in contributions. So you can get a momentum pack. Momentum packs have 90% going to the trading pool rather than 70%, but you have to first have the normal tier 5 to get a tier 5 momentum pack. You first need to get the normal tier 6 with 70% in order to get a tier 6 momentum pack. So you can play with the numbers here, and that will give you the various scenarios. You can see here, when you add momentum packs, the net profit is actually increasing, because with your first two tiers, 50% goes to trade, then 70% for all other higher tiers, and 90% for momentum pack. I'm just going to remove those additional packs and work on very conservative numbers. So now let's look at what would happen if we actually compound. So on this next table, what we have is again an overview of what you actually contributed. This is non-editable. You need to go to the first sheet to change the numbers in here. And here what we have is basically the amount of raw profit per week. Now our actual result is 4.7% on average since May 2022, but I'm going to be conservative and make that 4%. And our start date is the week beginning 26th of September 2022. So with one tier 1 contribution, we have 50 USDT going into trade. So basically, if we look at a summary of what would happen over 5 years, you can see here that we have the year from 1 to 5 and 26-week intervals. So mid-year and end of year for each of those 5 years, and what the date would be at the end of 26 weeks and 52 weeks for each of those years. What we also have is what your closing balance would be. Now, compounding is always actually slow to begin with smaller amounts. So you'll see here Not a lot of growth in the first 2 years. Still not bad. $50 in trade, ending up with $1,260 in profit by year 2. But by year 5, you've got $197,397 of profit from simply a tier 1 contribution. This is taking into account the performance fee that has come out of all of that profit. Now below, what you can see is basically the year and every week, week by week, and the amount of funds in your account at the beginning of each week. What the profit would be for each week, and you can see it would slowly increase over time as compounding happens. The cumulative amount of profit and what the close of week balance would be. Now you can add in additional contributions here as well. You'll see over here that if you withdraw anything, it deducts the performance fee. So performance fees are taken out when you withdraw or every 26 weeks from the time that you've added a new contribution. So for example, let's say 4 weeks later I add another tier 1, which would give me another 50 into trade. The numbers are now adjusted. And let's say at the end of 26 weeks, I want to withdraw $100. So that would mean a deduction of 30%, $30 from my balance. And also the total 30% for the entire 6-month period, the balance would be $17. The 6 monthly performance fee is based on the profit that you've made in that 26-week period. It also takes into account any withdrawals you've already made. So you don't pay the performance fee twice, you pay it once. So the total amount of profit that you've made is $157 for the 6 months, and you'd pay 30% on that, which you can see here is 30 on this withdrawal, and a balance of 17, a total of 47, which would be 30% of that amount. And that would be the 6 monthly on the 20th of March. Now, this table will adjust based on additional contributions and any withdrawals that you make. And it goes all the way down to year 5. But what you have here is a summary of those results. Now, it does exactly the same thing with crypto. So with the crypto crowdfund, there is no momentum packs. So you just enter in the number of tiers that you have. The same principle applies. It'll adjust what you have in out-of-pocket cost and also how much is going to the trading pool. And the same with the compounding. It will give you a 6-month summary. So we'll work on a conservative 4% per week with crypto. It'll probably do better than that, but you put in your start date, the percentage per week and the start date are the only editable sections of this sheet here. And then below you can enter in additional contributions that you make and any withdrawals that you make, and that'll adjust the final numbers. So again, a tier 1 contribution to crypto at 4% per week compounding would give you 197,000. And again, you can adjust these numbers to see what suits you and your strategy and plan. So now we know what would happen as a passive participant. Let's examine what would happen if you were an active participant. What do I mean? If you shared this with other people. So let's work on the assumption that you contributed tier 1 and tier 2 to Forex, a total of 300 USDT contribution, 150 USDT going into the trading pool. We now click on the Forex referral scenario on the bottom, and we can see here it shows those same results. Now we can work on the scenario of what the weekly profit would be without compounding. Right now we're averaging 4.7% per week. You can go back to the Forex compounding sheet. You can adjust that number. So if you wanted to be more conservative and make it say 4% rather than 4.7 to accommodate for any actual declines in performance. 150 to trade. We're going to start this week 26th of September. So Let's scroll down and see what happens. As a summary, it shows here what happens as a passive participant. So you would end up with a closing balance of $592,000 at the end of year 5. Not a bad result. But let's look what happened if you share this with other people. So let's say over the course of time, you refer 10 people who want to do the same as you. They've contributed 300 to the crowd fund, 150 into the trading pool. That means 10 people at the end of week 26 would have generated 266 in profit. So 10 people would be 2659. Now you get a 3.5% unilevel bonus on the profit that is made over their 6-month period. So you would have $93. Not life-changing, but it's money that happened as a result of them enjoying the same benefits as you as a passive participant. At the end of year 1, you can see you've made another 209. At the end of year 2, you've made 1,255, and that, so you've made a total of $2,000. End of year 3, you've made 11K. End of year 4, you've made nearly 60K, and end of year 5, close to 300K in referral commissions. These 10 people have not gone and built a team. They've simply just put their funds to work just like you. But let's say that everybody upped their game a little bit and decided to go to tier 3. So we add that in. Go back to Forex referral scenario, and we see that 1, your closing balance at the end of year 5 is significant. Now we've got 1.697 million, enough to buy a home and put some funds to work and have a passive income. And from the referral side, over $855,000 that you've made. And what did you do? You just helped 10 people reach an outcome where they can also achieve life-changing results. And again, you can play with the numbers here. So if everybody upgraded to tier 4, add a total of $1,500 contribution to the crowd fund, 990 in trade, our scenario gets into some very good territory where personally close to 4 mil on your own funds being put to work, no top-ups, no extra tiers, and you've made close to 2 mil in referral income from these 10 people. Maybe you think I can only do 5 people. It'll adjust the numbers. So you decide, or maybe you're very ambitious and you think I can get 20. You can adjust the numbers according to what you think is realistic for you in terms of contribution to the crowd fund, in terms of the performance. So if you wanted to decide to up it to the 4.7% average we're doing, you can do that. And again, that'll change these numbers, and you see just an extra 0.7% per week significantly impacts the results. 18 mil plus on your own funds and 4.2 mil. Again, even if you only achieved 20% of those outcomes, even 10%, for most people that would be life changing. So you've now got scenarios for Forex and crypto for just withdrawing every month, compounding, and also if you referred other people.